Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel guys. If it's the first time you have come to my YouTube channel, please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share this video to your loved one and friends so we can build up this community and grow. Anyways guys, today we're going to be talking about a very important topic that a lot of people don't know about. They have heard about it, but some of the people do not know about the meanings of it. And I think this goes in all age bracket, I should say. But these are subjects that people mostly study in colleges and probably in high school. I don't know if they do this in high school, but I would say this topic that I'm going to be discussing would fall under the topic of sociology. So this might be good for someone who is taking sociology class, or in general you would like to know what's going on around in your society. Like for instance, this topic, what are the 5 generations that make up our society today? And every one of us should really know this. Every one of us should know this. Young, old, we should all know this, especially in this generation for college students and people who are going to school and college. Need to be educated about these sociology topic. Can you name the 5 generations that make up our society today? Number 1, traditionalists. Okay, and I'm going to tell you the year that they were born and some of the things that they do, the slangs and stuff like that. And we can also Google it and look up all of these things together. This is very important. So number 1 is the traditionalists. Number 2 is the baby boomer. Okay. Number 3, Gen X. Number 4, the millennials. And number 5, Gen Z, which is the most popular out of all of them that is talked about in the media, is the Gen Zs. All you hear about is the Gen Zs, Gen Zs, Gen Zs. Anyways, let's get into it and get excited. The traditionalists might be your grandmother or your great-grandmother. Okay, like those were born 1925 to 1945. Remember those dates. The traditionalist, which is one of the 5 generations of our society today, they were born from 1925 to 1945. Okay, now let's move on to the baby boomers, okay? Baby boomers were born 1945 to 1964. Those are the baby boomers. 1945 to 1964 are the baby boomers. So college students and high school students, take notes of these. You're going to come across this in your sociology class and your society, like your news media and the news. They talk about these generations all the time. But most of all, they mostly talk about the Gen Zs, which we're going to get to, okay? We're just talking about a baby boomer right now. Baby boomers. Number 3 is the Generation X, which they call them Gen X. Generation X, okay? Those Generation X were born 1965. 1965 to 1980. These are the Generation X, the Gen X. 1965 to 1980. Okay, let's go down to the millennials. The millennials. The millennials were born 1981 to 2000. Remember, 1981 to 2000. Okay, these are the millennials. And let's go down to the most popular of all, the Generation Z, which is the Gen Zs. The Gen Zs were born 2001 to 2021. Those are the Gen Zs. Anything below 2021, those are younger, the babies, toddlers, whatever you, because this is now 2024, okay? So the Gen Zs 2001 to 2021. Okay, all right. So let's look at their habits, the stuff them that they do, and some of the stuff we might have to Google some of the stuff. Okay, hold on one second. I gotta put my jacket on. I'm cold. This is the cold season, guys. It's getting cold. Okay, anyway, guys, yes, let's continue with this topic. Okay? So we talk about the traditionalists, we talk about the baby boomers, the Gen X, the millennials, and the Gen Zs. If you're going to college or you're doing anything about any form of education, you're supposed to know about the 5 generations that make up our society today. And it should not only be the privileged or the upper class that should know about these. You hear them in the news all the time, especially millennials and Gen Zs. And sometimes you hear about Generation X and baby boomers, but you hardly hear about the traditionalists because those are the oldest of all. Those were born 1925 to 1945. So those are old folks. Okay? And we're going to look at some of the habits and slangs that they do. We might have to look that up on Google. Okay, so now let's look at what the habits of the traditionalists. Let's see what a traditionalist, what they do. Traditionalist. Hold on. Traditionalist generation, okay? All right, so the traditionalist, their ages, the population. Let's see the causes. It says here, refer to the generation of people born between 1928 to 1945. I've got 1925. So it all depends on what part of Google you're looking. It says 1928. Also, it starts from 1925. Some, it all depends. And it says expectation. The generation was expected to be obedient, work hard, and keep quiet. Focus and career. The generation was more focused on their career than on activism, and was therefore considered to be silent on social and political issues. Those are what the traditionalists, they mostly do. Okay, let's look at the population. The population as of 2019, there was 23 million people in the United States who were part of the silent generation, a demographic, okay, born between 1928 to 1945. The silent generation, also known as traditionalist generation, is the generation that came after the greatest generation and before the baby boomers. So guys, I'm doing this so you guys can be educated about all these different generation, because some people don't know. I've heard people asking, what is this? What is that? You should know. You're living in America. You should know these terms. It is very important. You can't just live with your head down in the sand. It's very important that you know these. Very, very important. If you're living in America, you should know these things. Are if you're going to school, even if you live in a lower neighborhood, you should get yourself educated and know the meaning of these things. Okay, all right, let's move on. Okay, all right, so age now. We're going to talk about the silent generation is generally defined as people born between 1925 to 1945. However, okay, let's see, making them 73 to 96 years old in 2024. So, those are the older people. However, the exact birth year of the generation can very depend on source, raw resource centers, and revolutional foundation. All right, so that's for the traditionalists. Now let's look up the baby boomers, okay? Let's look up the baby boomers because very important that we know these things because a lot of people don't even know. Even some people in my family don't know what are the 5 generations and the ages that they were born. Let's look at baby boomer. The baby boomers. So baby boomers. Let's look at the baby boomers. Okay, so the baby boomers, the age first. Let's talk about the age, the current population and stuff like that. The baby boomers born between, okay, baby boomers are between 59 and 77 years old as of 2023. They were born between 1946 and 1964. After World War II, the name comes from the significant increase in birth rate after the war. Okay, guys? That's what Google is saying. Most of these things, you have to Google them because they change, stuff change, things start change. Everything is on Google and on YouTube. So we're doing a video so we can educate people about this. All right. Here are the ages of some other generation in 2024, which we're going to be talking about the Generation X, the Millennials, and all that stuff. So let's move on to current population of baby boomers. As of 2020, there were approximately 76.4 million baby boomers in the United States. However, baby boomers are no longer the largest generation in the country. They are outnumbered by Generation X and Millennium and by children under 18 years old. Very important to know. All right, let's move on because I don't want the video to be too long. Period. Let's see. All right, so let's see what that is. Let's go on. So average age for them is 56 to 73, I'm seeing here. Okay, so that's baby boomers. Okay, so, all right, so that's the baby boomers. We're going to be moving on because I don't want this video to, let's look at Generation X. Generation X, okay? We're going to do Generation X. Generation X. Let's look at the Generation X, guys. Okay, Generation X. Let's look at known for. Let's talk about the Generation X, guys. All right, or Gen X is known for being the first generation to grow up with personal computers and for experiencing the start of digitalization. They are also known for being resilient, independent, and good at maintaining a work lifestyle and balance. Okay, so that's okay. Let's look at the age. Generation X is made up of people born between 1965 and 1980 and are currently between ages of 44 and 59 that are the Generation X. Let's move on because this topic is getting a little bit long here. This video is getting a little bit long. We're doing a short education. So we did those again. Let's look at Millennials. Guys, if you have anything, comment down in the comment section. If you're a millennium, if you're a Gen X, or, let's see what you know and give us some insight and, okay, so and what you know. Comment in the comment section below. Let's educate ourselves. Okay, so we did Traditionalists, we did baby boomers, we did Generation X. So now we're going to be doing the Millennials. The millennial, I can never call this word properly. I can never call this word properly. Anyways, let's go, man. Millennials are a demographic group of people born between 1981 and 1996. These are the millennials, who are also known as Generation Y. So this is a new one. They also known as Generation Y. Let me make a note of that. Generation Y. Okay? I don't know what that means. The term was first used in 1991 by generation of, let's see, by William Strauss and Neil House. Okay, that's what the millennials do. Okay, how are about facts about millennials? Okay, size. In 2023, millennials were the largest generation in the United States, with an estimated population of 72.7 million. They are the children of baby boomers and older Generation X, and are often the parents of Generation Alpha. Oh my God. Okay, so that's it. Challenges, they have a lot of challenges. This is what they talk about mostly actually on the news is the millennials. Millennials have faced many challenges, including recessions, okay, pandemic, natural disasters, and high home prices. Some have called them the unluckiest generation because of these economic hardships, okay? And they go to a lot in the workplace. I'm going to read this last one and then move on to the next. Millennials believe that businesses should be socially responsible and address issues like inequality and environmental sustainability. They also value work and balance, flexibility of schedule, and mental health support. Great. So those are the millennials. Let's get to the Gen Z because this is getting too much long. Guys, if you need any more information, you can read that up on your own and get yourself educated with these generations. It's very important for people who are studying and going into school. Generation Z now. I think let's look at the Gen Z, Generation Z. Okay? All right, so now the Gen X, they call them, no, I'm sorry, the Gen Z. They call them the Gen Z. Generation Z or Gen Z is the generation of people born between the late 1900s and the early 2000s. The most commonly accepted birth year. Okay, let's see. Okay, the most commonly accepted birth years for the generations are 1997 to 2012, or the Gen Z is the generation after millenniums, and therefore Generation Alpha. So you know what that means. Generation Alpha, they seem to dominate certain things. Let's read up a little bit more and then we're going to close off the video. Guys, if you need anything more, Google this, do your research, Google it, put your discussion down in the comment section, guys. Let's agree to disagree. Let's educate, motivate, okay? All right, so let's move on. It says now, here are some characteristics of Gen Z. Digital. They are the king and queens of the digital world. Gen Z are the first generation to grow up with the internet and is often referred to as digital natives or born digital, okay? Shaped the Great Recession and COVID-19. Gen Z has been impacted by the Great Recessions of 2007 to 2009 and also the COVID-19 pandemic. Okay? We don't want this video to go too long, please. All right, so Gen Zs are the most ethically and racially diverse generation in the United States. All right, guys, and we know that already. Social media. Let's look at one more topic that they do. Social media. Gen Z is likely to rely on social media as a means of communication and information sharing. Okay? Guys, so please like and subscribe to this video and do some more research and some more information. Educate yourself about the 5 generations of the United States that are living in our society. This topic is a very broad and very extensive topic, and we're not gonna have time to go through all of it, which to me it is very, very interesting. I like this topic a lot, very, very much so. And I think we should teach our younger generation, especially the generations below the Gen Zs that really are not a part of this 5 generation. So to educate them from a very early age, to let them know about all the different generations, what to expect in life, what to do, and how to function, guys. Like, subscribe, guys, and I will see you in another one. Bye-bye. Have a great day. Goodbye.